Welcome back to A Little Bit of Cheese. Happy 250, America. Beautiful, beautiful thing. My name is Cody Depius. That is Sam Douglas. 250 years of America. Sam, how are you celebrating?
I love it. You can do a little bit of barbecuing today, hang out with some friends. Then I'm going out to play a gig at a towny bar in Coon Valley. I think it's going to be
Hey,
fun. Could have done a little bit of Brothers on Third Street. I think I see a lot of college parties a lot of times. I'm going to go hang out the townies, play some rock and roll, play some country music, maybe hit on some moms tonight. It's going to be a good time.
let's do it. Little Leonard Skinner. I mean,
Yes,
you'll be
sir.
fine. Yeah,
Yes,
get a
sir.
little Skinner, and we'll be all right. So barbecuing, you got a pretty big spread. You could go. What's your go-to? Are you the grill master or are you the grill enjoyer?
I've been crushing the chickens recently. I know it's
Okay.
kind of an easy answer, but I've been loving the chickens recently. Keeping them juicy, not overcooking them. It's an art, Cody. There's a small window where your chicken's going to be juicy, delicious, and not dry yet. I've been crushing it. I don't think I'm grilling. I don't think I'm the grill master today, though. We'll probably just get some brats out there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, we did the grill. I mean, I got a charcoal gas, so I do a little bit more gas because just how convenient it is. But of course, charcoal for those special occasions today will definitely be so. Uh, but yeah, chicken. Actually, tossed it on for the first time last week on the new grill. But yeah, grilled chicken. You don't think of it as much. I mean, maybe it's a little bit more common around your part of town over there. But yeah, grilled chicken sandwiches. That's easy. It's like a burger, but not quite a burger. But I mean, if you're gonna ask me what I'm doing, if I got to pick, it's burger every time. You do a lot with that, and then of course the brats here in Wisconsin can't go wrong. Johnsonville, and then the Quick Trip beer battered brats. Those are very very slept on. Worth
Right.
every penny. If you haven't
Right.
tried it, go do it. So, in honor of 250 years of America, we got to do a little bit of I love this country. And one of the greatest things we love about this country, of course, you talk baseball and football, America, hell yeah. I mean, most of the things that we enjoy on a daily basis were bred and grown here in this country.
Mhm.
But, of course, I got to talk about the great landscape here. Give me your top three vacations that you have taken here in the States off the top of your head. I can kick us off to give you a little bit of time to think
Yeah,
here.
go ahead.
When
Yeah.
I was pretty young, I had an uncle. He actually still lives in Alaska. But we took a trip out there, took a train up to Mount Denali or Mount McKinley or whatever the heck it's called now. I
I think
know
it's
that.
Denali, yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. If you haven't been to Alaska, like different state of mind, different landscape than you're going to see really anywhere else, go find it. And then the mooses or the moosin or the meeson or whatever the plural of mooses, uh, they're big. And it's very cool. But yeah, my number one is Alaska.
I've got Glacier National Park
Mm,
up at my one. That's I've traveling domestically was important to me. I had some friends doing international travel. I always wanted to see more of where I live before I
yes.
started doing international travel. So before the Spain trip or the Greece trip, I haven't been international, I haven't been to Europe. But I have done a lot out west. I've been to most parts of this country, have done some stuff down south, Nevada, Montana, Utah, all that jazz. Yet to be Pacific Northwest, I look forward to the time when I make it out there. But Glacier, man. I've done a handful of national parks. Glacier's the one that I could go to every single year. I like seeing a national park and checking the box and looking forward to go to the next place. Glacier was jaw-dropping. You get a little bit of the pine trees of northern Wisconsin. You can go elevation and get a little bit of winter. As you go lower in elevation, you just get these really rich forests with the bears, and just steaming with life down there. The water is crystal clear blue. You're looking at this water and you're not sure if it's 3 feet deep or 3 inches deep. That's how crystal clear it is. Just really, really special out there. And watch a full eclipse from it looked like almost Pride Rock over four cascading lakes, all coming down from the glaciers. Eclipse going on. Beautiful landscape at the tip of the Valley of Glacier National Park. Can't beat it, Cody. Can't beat
Dude,
it.
I
It's awesome.
haven't been, but you just sold me. I think I'm gonna go get Bree to buy some plane tickets now. So that's no national parks, great. Have you done wind caves yet?
Haven't done wind caves.
Ooh,
On the note of flying out, and I lived in Denver for a little bit,
that's
and
right.
I told people to drive out to Denver rather than flying out because when you're driving and it's been a long drive and you start to see the mountains, you start to see the Rockies in the distance. The next like 3 hours of drive is just incredible. They get bigger and bigger, and you start to realize the power of these mountains. And it's worth, there's not a whole lot of things that's worth driving through Nebraska, but once you start to see the mountains in the distance, it's just surreal. I love making the long drives because I love that moment once you start to see the mountains and you have 3 hours to just get closer and closer to the Rockies.
Man, you should be a travel agent when you're selling this stuff. That's pretty good. I got the Dakotas out there. Just go see it all. I mean,
Mm.
not a lot of people to see, but there's a lot of cool things to see. Go see all the national parks, everything out Dakotas. And I do have New York DC trip that I'm sure a lot of us took back in eighth grade. I mean, I'll always remember a lot of the things you saw there. Those are the other two of my top three.
What was the wind caves you said?
The wind caves, that would be an honorable mention, I think, for me. Just when you started mentioning like national parks, that was one we took just this past year. And that
Hmm.
was like the way that everything is like preserved because there's like no moisture down there. They have no elements that are essentially going to touch anything. You have like old machinery essentially back from like the 1800s when they were mining gunpowder out of there. And you go back like it's like a little time capsule thing. It's super 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 cool.
Where is that?
I think Louisville or around
Okay.
Louisville. Yeah.
I love the
Kentucky.
Appalachia area. You can
Yeah.
feel the age. When you're in that land, you can feel the coal miners' energy there.
Hmm.
It feels old. Just everything. It just carries that energy that it's been around when you're looking at the mountains and they're smoothed out. They've been standing the test of time.
Yes.
Um, I had another one on the tip of my tongue. Did a rafting trip. Oh yeah, rafting trip was awesome. I want to shout out the people that were out there though, because we had a group of people all knowing somebody who knew somebody. There's probably 30 of us on this rafting trip. We were on a river, cruising through the southwest corner of Colorado for about 11
Mm.
days. I'm talking with this girl Zoe who grew up in corner of Montana. And these folks know each other from being either whitewater rafting guides or ski guides, seasonal work. Bounced around, met a friend a couple years ago, and now we're all kind of coming together for a rafting trip. It was a really cool vibe. And this girl Zoe, she's talking to me. She's nervous about going to a different university. She's going to like Chicago or like a suburb of Chicago, and she goes,
Hmm.
"Yeah, I just don't know how I'm gonna feel about being in a city like with street lights. That's kind of weird." And that was her big concern is street lights, and it just goes to show how cool life is out west when street lights are the weird thing for them, and seeing the light of the stars and the light of the moon is actually um a daily thing for them, where street lights is weird and the noise of cars at night is something other than what's going on in the natural world outside. So
Yeah.
shout out to all my Western friends out there.
Yeah. No, I love it. We can all come from the same place as America, but every place in America is different. Love about that. Like it's just it's like different countries inside a country. And I think a lot of Europeans are starting to kind of figure that out now because they always kind of say,
Yeah.
oh, Americans don't travel. They never leave America. We don't need to leave America to go see like amazing things. Like so many people in this country are never going to see all of the great places that are just here in this nation. Like I don't have a passport yet. Should probably get there, but I haven't felt like I needed one because there's so much to see in this great landscape. But yeah, love it. Happy 250 America. Just figured we'd do a little ode to this beautiful country we live in. Uh, Also, one of my favorite things in this beautiful country. Milwaukee Brewers continue to keep winning. They did
Ooh,
win
love
Sam
some
some money.
Brewers.
Yeah, yeah, gotta love them Brewers. Got my Brewers American flag hat. I think it was the one that they wore 4th of July a couple of years ago. It's a little tight on my head, but got to put it on for today. We'll figure it out. Uh, Had to squeak out a win last night, huh, Sam? You had a little bit of money on that game? A
Yeah, I
little
was
get
sweating it
even or get
out.
even worse for you?
Chasing losses after Germany burned me and then Argentina going into overtime burned me, but the Brewers pulling out a win broke me even for the day. So yes, I stayed up to the 11th inning watching Grant Anderson on the mound with a runner on second and nobody out. After our bullpen had a masterclass of a day and Grant Anderson shut the door. So the only runs they scored yesterday were on Kyle Harrison, which you tell either of us that going into the game. We'd probably be a little shocked, but probably feel a little bit better about how the game would go. But chased them real early. It was an awesome game to watch. Web gems everywhere. If you haven't seen the Joey Ortiz dive at third, he's a screamer coming his way. He's playing third base. He came in actually to pinch hit, a bit of an odd move, but
Yeah.
after David Hamilton had some base running mistakes, I'm sure we'll touch on it. A little bit of sloppiness from the Brewers. Actually, we'll just go there right away. My
Yeah.
name right now is
Get
Hydro.
sloppy. Sloppy Joe's. Lots of sloppy today. Let's touch it.
Sloppy Joes. Oh my gosh, we might be throwing Sloppy Joes in the barbecue. Huh? I like what you're talking about. We left 12 guys on base yesterday. Harrison got chased before the end of the third inning. Dave Hamilton ran into an out, literally. We had runners on first and second with one out, or second and third with one out. Grounder to short. He did not need to run. He ran into the shortstop as the shortstop was fielding the ground ball, got tagged, threw it to first, double play. We needed that run. I think this is the seventh inning in a tie game.
Hmm.
So leaving 12 guys on base, losing your starter before the end of three, running into outs, had a home run get robbed, and we still won by four. This Brewers team feels like Hydro, where if you cut one head off, we're going to grow three more. Christian Yelich is not playing good baseball right now. Our starters past 2 days, Miz got kind of rocked, Harrison kind of rocked. Brewers are still 20 games over. 500, almost 20 games over 500. It just feels like there's so many different pieces to this team. And if it's going to be Grant Anderson for 2 innings, that's a card we can play.
Yeah. No, it's I mean, you are at a point, and even hearing it on the radio on Wisconsin Sports Network where they're talking, it feels like the Brewers are in a slump right now and they've won 7 of their last 10. Like where it feels like they're not playing great baseball, but they're still winning. And that's kind of just the era that we're in.
Mhm.
And I don't know. I'm just looking at that box score from last night because I actually did not watch the game. Too busy with fireworks and my little campfire I had outside, which I know might sound crazy to a lot of people that know me. But you had Harrison go 2 2/3, and then just a masterclass of the arms that you had after that. And you can look at all these guys' season numbers, and I'll read off the ERAs as well. But Chad Patrick for 3.1, he has a 3.5 ERA. He had a couple blow ups too. Like he's a better pitcher, or he's pitched better than probably a 3.5 so far this year. Aaron Ashby leads the National League and wins. That's a whole nother conversation we can have, but he's at a 3.10 ERA. He pitched an inning. Uribe, he's at a couple. We felt like this year has been a bad year for Abner Uribe to this point. ERA's at 2.9. Like it, it's just goofy. Trevor McGill also started off so bad this year. We had conversations the first couple weeks. I don't think Trevor McGill can be your closer. Well, Trevor McGill has a 3.18 ERA, and I think you could consider him possibly to pitch in the All-Star game once again. He looks so good right now. And then Grant Anderson for 2 innings there, 3.35. And Sam, I hear you complain about Grant Anderson, just like we complained last year about Jared Koenig. Like it's the guys you don't feel comfortable about are still doing the job. They're getting it done. The numbers are there, the success is there, and that's why this team continues to win. Where it's an entire conversation. So you brought up Christian Yelich. Numbers not good as of recent, as I can pull up the last 15 here for our good friend. Started off the year hot, got hurt. Since he's come back, has not really looked much like a big leaguer. A lot of strikeouts. I'd throw him a slider every single pitch because the breaking ball is just giving him so many fits. The last 7 games, he's hitting 174. He does have a 321 on base, so he's getting walked every now and then, but a 217 slug. And the numbers do not look much better if you go back even to 15 games. At the
That's not
30
good.
game clip, it's a playable major league hitter, but the slugging percentage in the last 30 games is 311.
That's not
That's
good.
not going to play. Sal Frelick gives you a better slugging. Joey Ortiz probably almost gives you a better slugging percentage. Like 311 is that's pretty poor. Do you see this turning around anytime soon? How much more of a leash do you give to a Christian Yelich?
I think there's a longer leash because he's a DH. Easier for him to make an adjustment. Now we hope that happens. As a professional hitter, you really can't be just over adjusting, especially as a Christian Yelich professional player. You can't really be over adjusting. You got to trust your processes and know that you're a good hitter. Um, that being said, he's older. He's back surgery, a couple surgeries deep now.
Yeah.
Might just be hitting a wall. We have no shortage of DHs available. We have no shortage of pinch runners available if we need. So I think that makes the Christian Yelich situation as a Brewers team easier to handle when we have switch hitters available. We have the Jake Bauers, Andrew Vaughn. One of them is probably going to be available.
Yeah.
If not, like every single game, we'll have one of them available to hit, and those guys are both hitters right
Yeah.
now. So I do trust that Yelich will turn this around a little bit, but the days of hitting 325 home runs, those days are done.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an average hitter left?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he's not in a starting lineup, say if we're playing playoff baseball right now, this weekend, I would not have him playing DH. I would have him pinch hit late game in a crunch time situation, and I would feel absolutely fantastic about that, Cody. I think he's clutch. He's been around. He's a leader on the team. He needs to be playing for us
Yeah.
when we need him. That being said, I don't think he'd be in the starting lineup. It would be Vaughn and Bowers, depending on handedness of pitcher or however the matchups shake out. But 100%, Yelich is going to have a spot on this team, and he's going to be important for us in October.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree wholeheartedly. I think where this conversation continues to come in is what you see right now in the outfield. And been having this talk with a lot of people about how good Luis Lara has been hitting in AAA ever since he's signed that contract. I think the batting average is still above 320 for him.
Sweet.
He's hitting. And you still have Blake Perkins on the roster, which I think he's going to be replaced by Lockridge, who should be back in the next couple of weeks here. But then after that, Garrett Mitchell has been so hot as of recent. He looks like an all-star right now. The way that he's hitting, the way he can run, the way he can field. We've talked about the ceiling that this guy has. I think you're starting to break the piggy bank open right now. I think you're starting to get that little payback of what we've been talking about over a longer period of time. And now this is the most games he's played in a single season, and
Hmm.
he looks really solid at this point. We've seen the process look so much better with the high fastball. He's able to catch up to it and at least foul it off now. It's not a swing and miss black hole anymore. Actually, had a home run on a high fastball just a week or two ago. It looks a lot better. Had the big home run last night as well, 435 feet. This guy's power is it's crazy.
Should have had two. He got robbed. His second one was robbed. Gurriel with one of the better catches in baseball this season. But yeah, he had another one that was a good 3 feet over the wall that Gurriel brought back.
That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't even know that happened. That even adds to this conversation more. Do you trade anybody out of this outfield right now? Because, like you said, you have a spot that is locked up by a Yelich. You're not going to do anything with him. No one's going to trade for him. You're definitely not sending him down to the minors. Uh, Frelick has been hitting a lot better as of recent. I think his last month he's been over 300. Uh, do you see any? Do you trade Sal Frelick? Do you try to shop Sal Frelick around where it's at? Because I think you're seeing the ceiling with Garrett Mitchell, and you know what you're getting there is going to be more value. I think there's a team that would bite on Frelick. I think a lot of our listeners might be a little frustrated with it because Sal is one of those team favorites. Everybody loves Sal Frelick. They had a sliding Sal jersey that was literally just a Sal Frelick jersey, and they just had dirt prints all over the front of it. That
That's
like,
great.
and kids lined up for that stuff. It's awesome. But I think when you're talking about longevity of this team and the talent that you have coming up in the minors right now, you have Luis Lara, who I think could step in right now and give you as much or more value than Sal Frelick does. Is it a conversation that you have to try to shop him?
I don't think so right now. It's got to be return based. If we're gonna get a quality starting pitcher, um,
Okay.
I think that's where we would go. We tried shaking the snow globe twice already at third base and shortstop. I think we gotta stop over adjusting there. Whatever platoon between Pratt, Ortiz, Hamilton that we're gonna go with. I think continuing to adjust there, and we even did it over. We tried Rengifo. I mean, we tried a handful of
Hmm.
things between short and third, and I think we got to just stick with what we have right now. It's getting to be too late in the season, and as we've seen with
Yeah.
Garrett Mitchell, like we just talked about, you need a little bit of time in the system to really grow and find your peak. But if there's a really quality star level third baseman out there, yeah, maybe pull some strings.
I will say they don't really exist right now. Like there's not a lot of great third basemen around
No,
baseball. It's one of those positions that should be good, but it just hasn't been.
no, and I like Pratt, and I think we got to let Pratt grow. And
Yep.
I am rolling with Joey Ortiz till the wheels fall off. The wheels might have fallen off, but Web Gem last night, home run kind of recently. But to get back to your question, we certainly do have the pieces to move a Sal Frelick.
Yeah.
We had the pieces to move Isaac Collins, and it was a little uncomfortable for a little bit. But if we have the pieces to do something and we can get a little bit better and we can fight on the margins, I think taking a swing and moving Sal could be a move. I don't think I'm chomping at the bit to do it though. I really like this team. I like the depth. We saw some injuries happen. We saw Lockridge go down when he was playing really well. Um, I'm gonna go fix my cats. They're fighting right now, but
Hey,
I'm on
you
board
do
with moving
that.
Sal if the
Turn
return
the
is there.
camera to the cats. I want to get a little UFC cat version. Okay. Yeah, I'm at the point with Sal where kind of good either way. I think this is another factor that you have to take into account. I think Sal Frelick is one of those guys in the locker room that kind of affects everybody. Where if you were to take him out, I think there would be a negative ripple effect across the locker room, the dynamic, the chemistry that you already have going. That is so rich right now in Milwaukee, and it has been, and that's something a couple years ago that you saw when Josh Hader was traded away. Negative ripple effect across the board, where it did negatively affect the locker room, and that can matter a little bit more than the results that you get from an individual player on the field. I think Sal is one of those guys, or at least seems like one of those guys that is like everybody's best friend, and you just love to be around him and you love to have him there. And I think that might be where they see a lot of his value as well. And I know that he is like Murphy treats him like a son. The way that he talks about him, I think Sal Frelick is one of his favorite players that he's ever had. And he's given him so many opportunities this year. And to be honest, it started to show up in the last month or so. Sal Frelick has started to hit. He's started to become a quality big leaguer again. But there does come a point when there are too many cooks in the kitchen. You have too many guys available to help you in the outfield where you could try to reallocate. And like you said, I don't know if third base is something they're going to try to improve. I think this is what they're going to roll with. And honestly, I feel a lot better now that you're giving Pratt the opportunity because he's a kid that could figure some things out by the time you get to playoffs. And if you get one or two decent at bats out of him in the playoffs or something big happens, that's great. Because where we feel defensively with him, I don't think you're losing much by having Pratt play where he's at. And at third base, I don't know why I feel so much more comfortable with Joey Ortiz just playing there as opposed to everyday shortstop. It logically doesn't compute as to why I feel better with it, but for some reason I just do. Hamilton kind of freaks me out with like some of the base running stuff, which is just silly. Like it shouldn't happen. That shouldn't be a problem. And there are just some small things where I think he tweaks a little bit of the game. It feels like he's lackadaisical at times. And like even defensively, like there are just moments where I don't know if he's fully there. And there are a lot of athletes like that. I think Jordan Love is an athlete kind of like that. Or sometimes it can be frustrating. It's like, oh, whatever. But then again, that personality is someone who turns the page really easily and they can have a bad day, not dwell on it, and then go and have a good day. And I think it'll end up being okay. I'd love to see a bullpen arm, and I'd love to see another piece in the starting rotation. That's kind of my wish list. Are you kind of there with that on the
I'm with
returning
you
end and what
there.
you would be looking for?
I think it would have to be an arm. Yeah, 100%. Just because, we're gonna knock on wood. You never know what other injuries can happen
Right.
to a bullpen. We know that we have five, six good outfielders. We know we have two fantastic first basemen. We know it's not a full two, but we have one and three fourths good catchers. Having a
Hey,
backup option is important. And we really liked having two potential closers coming into the season, and both have had their fair share of struggles. So just knowing how the season can go, one way or another, having arms is always, 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 always more welcome.
I'd
And we
be
know
okay if they
yourself.
went all in and tried to get Chapman. Like I'm at like
Yeah.
go get the big dude. I don't know. I feel like it's been inevitable. The Brewers have been in on Chapman before, and I mean he's having a good year for a really, really, really bad Boston team. They're gonna trade him away. Like there's no argument there. And Milwaukee hasn't gone and gotten that big name reliever. Maybe this is their not going all in, pushing all the chips in, but pushing the chips in for that big reliever. I think that's a move that they can make. And like I said, I don't expect anything to happen on the infield. And then starting rotation, they're probably going to find like a Frankie Montas or Aaron Savali type move that we've seen them do before, where it's a back end of the rotation, fill some innings while we try to spread Miz and Harrison out because those guys are going to hit their innings
Yeah.
quote unquote limit. They're going to hit
Yeah.
their maximum innings this year, hopefully by a lot,
It's
especially when you
about
get to the playoffs.
we're getting to the point where we should see 5 innings out of Miz more often than we should be begging to see 8 innings out of Miz.
Yeah.
After All-Star break, it's really was towing these guys back, and that's where Grant Anderson dominated for us. I mean, not dominated, but like was so he led us in innings last year, just chewing up innings. I think Chad Patrick is going to be able to play that role for us this year. I love what he's doing. He had another 3 great innings yesterday, just chewing up middle innings. Whether he goes back to being an opener where he just does 3 4 innings consistently, or he is a middle relief guy. I think that's important, but I think you hit the nail on the head with somebody who's able to just eat innings for us come August and September, so that we can have our best 1A 1B Harrison Miz ready for October.
Hey, that might be Coleman Crow too. Like that
Sure.
might be one of those arms. Logan Henderson's going to be coming back here too. You're going to have a lot of arms that you're going to be able to do it with. I just always expect for Milwaukee to go and get more.
What's a
And
Henderson update? What's up with Logan Henderson?
that's a good question. I think we're within a couple of weeks here. Let me do a quick little Google search because
Because
I
he could
know
be a
he
guy
was
guy.
making rehab starts. I know he was looking good. So the
I don't
news.
trust. I don't love Woodruff. I think Woodruff is an inning eater for now. I don't want to see him start a playoff game against the Dodgers.
Ooh, okay, okay. A little hot take. Little hot take.
Yeah.
I I feel comfortable enough with Brandon Woodruff with him at 85 miles an hour for some reason
Oh,
and him
come on.
just bulldogging his way through and finding a way to make it happen. But I get where you're coming from. The process and the stuff just doesn't look like a guy you want throwing against the Dodgers. But then again, we did pitch Jose Quintana in game 3. So it's, I don't know if they care too much about how the stuff looks. But Logan Henderson update while we have Kurt Hogue on Twitter. Actually, just yesterday, Pat Murphy confirmed tonight is expected to be Logan Henderson's final rehab start. He's scheduled for 65 to 70 pitches. Will return to the rotation next week. So,
Sweet.
looks like we're getting some Logan Henderson back. Does that mean a Gasser is out or Sproat? How do you feel?
Probably Gasser being out. Sprout's been hot, and I think they'll keep switching back and forth. I don't know how many times you can do that. I think there's some stipulations on how many times you can send and recall.
Yeah, you get
But
options. That's the limit that they put on it is how many options a player has. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, Henderson's coming back next year. We're gonna have Priester. We're a winning team. We're a young team. We have depth on the professional level as well as triple A and double A and single A level. We have talent everywhere. I'm fine. I have always taken the stance on this podcast and in life that I love an active front office. I'm fine if we sit on our hands. I'm not chomping at a bit for us to do anything right now, Cody.
I promise they get you a bullpen arm.
Sure.
Beyond because they'll do it every year. I mean, last year they went and got Shelby Miller, whose arm had essentially already blown up, and they were just praying that they
I
could get
forgot
innings
about
out
that.
of him. And they've done the past couple years hasn't really worked, but every year since I remember starting to watch this team, they pick up a bullpen arm. So they will do that. But beyond that, like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if they just do nothing. And I think I'd be okay with it. I think you got enough talent. I think you have enough high ceilings from these guys that you feel like you can go out there. Like Garrett Mitchell is such an X factor. Like in the play, like having a Garrett Mitchell hot in the playoffs can take you places. Like that can take you deep. Just that type of player, and you got a few of them. You got a Churiu, you got a Contreras, you got a Terang. Where if you can get two or three of those guys to get on a good stretch, I think you can swing with the best of them. And you've seen they have two of the best, probably 10 arms right now in baseball. It's get in and see what happens. So, yeah, I'm feeling really comfortable about that. World Cup, Team USA, baby. We're rocking it. Year 250, rocking it in the World Cup. Elite Eight, essentially. That game's on Monday. Can you set the table for us, Sam? I know you got a little bit of skin here.
Yeah, we're playing Belgium, who just had a awesome game against Senegal. Not really sensational from Belgium's point of view, but they were down 0-2 going into about the 80th minute, and they scored two goals in a matter of 10 minutes. Senegal got a little bit complacent. Belgium has a lifetime superstar, Lukaku up top, and if you fall asleep a little bit, Lukaku will make you pay. So this Belgium team will score a couple goals. It's on us to play without our best striker, potentially best player, most dangerous player this World Cup so far, Balogun, who caught a red card, questionable red card in the last game. I don't
Yeah.
think it should have been a red. It looked bad, but when he landed on dude's ankle and then jumped off right away, it wasn't. I don't know. It's soccer doesn't judge intent, but we're going to be playing without our best striker, and that's Belgium's strength is attack. So we're going to have to manufacture some goals. Vegas lines right now: USA plus 155, Belgium plus 170, draw plus 240. So this is about as even as it's going to get. They're playing up in Seattle, where there is a strong soccer presence. I believe the Seattle Sounders play up
Hmm.
there. And Portland has a team up there as well. That place is going to be absolutely bouncing, Cody. We might hear it from Wisconsin. I'm super excited to watch the game Monday night, but we've the Elite Eight is the furthest a U.S. team has ever made it in a World Cup. I believe it was 36, 1930s. The last time we made it to the Elite Eight, we've never been a semifinal team. This team has an opportunity to do that. And draws considered, we're not. This is Belgium. They've struggled a little bit. We're not playing France. I don't think anyone's going to beat France. And France should win the World Cup. But we've got a chance against Belgium to do something we've never done before. And yesterday, 2 days ago, Portugal beat Croatia, which is huge because now Portugal plays Spain. The winner of that would be our semifinal matchup. We can't beat Spain. Portugal can. They probably won't, but Spain has struggled sometimes. Even if Spain is struggling, we're not going to beat them. But Portugal has also shown that if they're struggling, anybody can beat Portugal. If Portugal can clip Spain and we can beat Belgium, we've got a real chance at being in the World Cup final, Cody. This America team is built on belief. It's going down on our home turf. The place is going to be loud. I'm judging you as a sports fan if you are not getting riled up about this World Cup. It's just awesome stuff.
I
PK
just
shootouts. We got star factor Messi's going on. Mbappe and the France team look absolutely inevitable. If you haven't tapped into what Erling Haaland and the Norway team is up to, check them out. They're a great time, and the U.S. is still in it. It's just electric, Cody. We should have the World Cup in the U.S. every single time.
You know, the feedback I've been hearing as well, I think a lot of the world would agree with that too. I think the people are enjoying it, taking their ranch back and getting it in their checked bags. But
It's a great system. I mean,
yeah,
and the cool thing about it is they're scheduled, and this is the selfish perspective, but the games are finally scheduled for us to enjoy them. We have a noon, a 3, a 5, and a 7 o'clock time window, maybe a 9 o'clock time window. The games are going on prime time for us. The last American game was the most watched U.S. soccer game ever
yeah.
on TV, and that's just a round of 16 games. So having the media presence, having the games all over the place, the Mexico Stadium too, Stadio Azteca. We got a Mexico versus England game going on in Mexico. Cody, that place is. If you haven't seen pictures of Stadio Azteca in Mexico, check it out. The place is unbelievable. It's probably the best soccer stadium in the world. At the base of the mountains, 100,000 people. Mexico has never lost a game at this stadium. I think it was built in 2013. They say they feel the power of the Aztecs when they're playing at this stadium. As soon as I heard that, I put $100 on Mexico. I said they're not losing if they're playing. And now they're playing England, who's a very well refined team. England has Premier League players across the board, and Mexico is just playing with heart and the power of Aztecs. Oh my gosh, Cody, dude, it's good stuff.
I love how you make me care about this. That this is great. Awesome. Yeah. Well, even I'm tuning into the World Cup now, so you guys should too. All right, we got a little bit of time for a mini grader here, Sam.
LeBron James doesn't want to be on the lake. He's not going to play for the Lakers anymore. Where do you want him to play? You want him to wrap up in Cleveland? You want to play with Giannis in Miami? You want him to go superstar team up with the 76ers? Where do you want to see LeBron James finish
Would
his
you
career?
root for Giannis and LeBron together if they
Yeah,
teamed up? Would you root for that
yeah.
team?
Same way I would root for them, Bron on the Warriors. It's goofy, but yeah, as a
See,
basketball fan, how do you not?
I can't. I just that part just does not tick my soul the way that it should. I think Philly is one that kind of just comes to mind. I feel like that's kind of always been talked about. We always kind of been like, oh, get with the process, you know? I think it ends with LeBron, right? Trusting the process. I think the process has to end with LeBron James. It's going to be my pick. I am not going to say that's what I'm rooting for. I'm going to root against wherever LeBron goes. That's just
No.
my sports fandom. You just got to have the villains, and LeBron has been a villain, and he's been an incredible villain to have in the NBA, and I thank him for that. But if he teamed up with Giannis, it would hurt my heart, I believe, to
I
watch
heard he's
that.
so he's definitely considering going back to Cleveland. And I'll tell you what, Cody, if he's the reason that James Harden finally has success in the playoffs, he's the GOAT already. That's the
That would be so fun.
great.
That would be fun. I would. That would be the only place I think I could root for LeBron. I think it'd be Cleveland. Awesome. Great show. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate you. Appreciate you guys. Happy 250 America. We'll see you next time. I'm Cody. That's Sam. This is A Little Bit of Cheese, your bite-sized Wisconsin sports podcast.